Hello, my name is Nolan Bernal. I'm doing an integrated case analysis on Dodge Motors. I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the company, an overview of the company, what type of organization it is, and some of its organizational structure. I'm also going to be talking about the human relation theory, communication issues, intercultural relationships, ethics, and I'm also going to be giving you a conclusion. All of these are concepts and theories that we learned from class, and I am going to relate them to Dodge as a company. Before I get into too much information, here's a video for you to watch.
By 1914, the brothers quit the Ford Motor Company and set out on their own. Their partners thought they were crazy, but John could talk anyone into anything. And if the brothers could imagine it, Horace could make it. They believed in more than the assembly line. They believed driving was a holy endeavor. Polite society never accepted them, but they couldn't ignore them. They died within a year of each other. Their pallbearers were drawn from the factory floor. It was said they were unsuited for their time, but that was only because they were ahead of it. These brothers had a name: Dodge.
Dodge was founded in the early 1900s by two brothers by the name of John and Horace Dodge. They first started off making bicycle parts, and they moved up to making automobile parts. Then they sold these parts to the Ford Car Company and Old Motors Car Company. In 1928, they joined the Chrysler Group, and Chrysler made Dodge a brand of their own. The chief executive officer is Sergio Marchionne. And today, Dodge and the Chrysler Group is one of the world's largest innovative automobile manufacturers in the world. All right, this is their organizational chart. They're a vertical structured company for the most part, but they do have a little bit of horizontal structure within the divisions and departments. The horizontal structure among the board members that manage the different divisions. It then goes vertical to the different departments of the divisions, and then it further down goes more vertical among the departments and the heads of the departments. The Dodge Motors is managed by a board of directors that provides oversight to the company. This is led by CEO Sergio Marchionne. They also have a management team in which runs all the day-to-day operations. They have a product committee that oversees capital investment, engineering, and product development, and they have a commercial committee that oversees matters related to sales and marketing. All right, one of the theories that I was going to talk about that pertains to this is the human relations theory, and this consists of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, McGregor's Y theory, and also Fayol's theory. Maslow's hierarchy of needs focuses on motivation, and it says that motivation plays a key role in employees' attitudes and their work ethics. You're supposed to start at the bottom of the pyramid at psychological and move your way up the 5 levels to achieve self-actualization. McGregor's Y theory states that under the right circumstances, work can be enjoyable and even desirable. Dodge has took this into focus and has tried to make the workplace as enjoyable and desirable as it can be. They do a lot to make sure that the employee feels that they're a part of a team and that they're at home when they're at work. Fails theory provides us with 14 principles of management and 5 elements of management. Dodge has implemented these 5 elements of management into their overall structure and business as a whole. These elements are planning, organizing, command, coordination, and control. Like I said, they incorporated all of these elements into the management structure, and they really focus on planning, because without a proper plan of action, things will not get done and productivity will not be high. Throughout these human relation theories, they all require effective communication from the top level of the organization to the bottom. And Dodge also has weekly meetings with their employees, with their managements, with their board of directors, to find out what they need to do and what they can do to make the work more enjoyable and to make people want to actually work for the company. For communication issues, the main issues that they come in contact with is time, teamwork, and communication. Time is a big part of Dodge's, on how Dodge operates and maintains its efficiencies. Dodge knows that there's only a certain amount of time and that people can only work a fraction of that time and be productive. They operate in many different time zones, and this could lead to communication issues. They try to keep a schedule, and they try to plan to communicate at times that best work for everybody. Teamwork is a huge part of the company, and they want everybody to feel as a member of a team and not just individuals. They focus on the relationships that management builds with the employees to promote teamwork. Dodge believes that employees have a more sense of worth and feel better about themselves when they're part of a team and part of something. Communication is sometimes one of the biggest aspects of a company. Dodge really tries to promote communication, and like I said, they have weekly and monthly meetings between board members, management, and lower level employees. They do this to communicate with them and have everything laid out on the table. They try to ask people what they could do better, what they're doing right, and what could be done to further the communication process for the company as a whole. On intercultural relationships, this consists of context, culture, barriers, and overcoming these barriers. For the most part, Dodge is a low context culture, and my textbook states that context is one of the most important cultural dimensions. Low context cultures depend more on the context of a situation, and they do that to convey their meaning. They assume that the listeners need to be briefed exactly and specifically to avoid misunderstandings. Dodge does this in a way that they always try to be as detailed as possible, and they will tell you exactly what they want. They will give you a plan and a goal so that everybody knows what needs to be done and that there's no misunderstandings about any things that they try to communicate with the workforce. Some of the barriers that they come into contact with are perceptual disparity, ethnocentrism, and language dissimilarity. Perception is the process by which an individual or company selects, evaluates, and organizes stimuli from the external world. One culture can look at the same thing in a very different way. Somebody in Asia may look at something as disrespectful to where someone in the United States doesn't see it as disrespectful. So cultures and the perception varies. Ethnocentrism is the belief that one's own culture is superior. Dodge doesn't really do this, but they try to promote diversity, and they really want to stress that everybody's culture is just as important as the next person's. They have to do this because they are a multinational company and they have facilities and employees throughout the continent. Language dissimilarity is, like I said, just when different cultures have a different language, and it creates an issue on trying to communicate, and it could really disrupt the communication process. They come into contact with these barriers because they do a lot of business in different countries, and the people they do business with will all have different cultures and understandings of language and communication. To overcome these barriers, they have to follow their prescriptions. They need to learn about other cultures and keep an egalitarian frame of mind. They try to have employees learn about the different cultures, be educated on them, and try to learn different languages. And they always try to keep the egalitarian frame of mind. Dodge overcomes all these barriers by building similarities between peoples and cultures that they are involved with. Like I said, they want to promote the diversity and that everybody is just as important as the next person. Ethics are a really big part of a company, and the ethical yardstick, which contains utilitarianism, veil of ignorance, and Aristotle's golden mean. Ethics are one of the most important aspects of Dodge and their company. They do not only take a utilitarian frame of ethics, but the overall happiness and well-being can be looked at collectively. For the veil of ignorance, Dodge makes decisions that are not based off of politics, finances, or role influences. So they try to keep their ethics in order. And they try to use the Aristotle's golden mean by looking at two extremes and finding a solution that is somewhere in between the two extremes. Dodge embodies the highest ethical standards in business conduct and is done so through their code of conduct. Their integrity systems set the foundation for the corporate governance of the FCA group. Their fundamental beliefs and their philosophy is that everything is done through integrity and hard work. If you incorporate integrity and hard work, it is very hard to either not be successful or not reach the goals that you're trying to do. In conclusion, I've talked to you about Dodge and the Chrysler Group, also known as FCA. They are one of the largest automobile manufacturers in the country. They are known for their reliability, performance, and craftsmanship. They are always striving for excellence, and I think that coming into contact with these four issues of human relations, communications, intercultural relationships, and ethics, I think that by keeping all of these up to par, will continue to make them a great company and will always lead to expansion and growth. And I think that if they can keep their ethics in line with their code of conduct, keep their intercultural relationships good standing, continue to communicate well throughout the workforce, stakeholders, and the public, and if they keep up their human relations, like I said, they will continue to expand and they will be able to stay one of the biggest automobile manufacturers in the world. Here's my works cited, and thank you for having me.